country music legend. Over his storied career, Tim McGraw has rocked stadiums and arenas around the world. But a little more than a decade ago, the father of three found himself at a crossroads with his health and wellness, and he decided he was going to make a change. Well, now he's opening up about his physical and mental transformation. And you know what? This book is also offering tips and motivation for the rest of us. It's a beautifully titled book. It is called Grit and Grace. Hi, Tim.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good.
Grit and Grace, man. That seems like the perfect title for a book about you, really.
Yeah, well, you know, it's the sequel to Grits and Gravy, which was a few years ago growing up in the South. But yeah, I mean, you know, grit for me is all about, you know, the determination that you build and the hard knocks that you take and how you get up from those things and putting yourself through a process that allows you to build some fortitude, you know. And then, of course, grace is something that we all need, and especially in this world today that there's not enough grace. And I think the thing that I learned or continue to learn is that you have to learn to give yourself grace and know that that you've made mistakes. You're going to continue to make mistakes. You're going to continue to fall down. And if you don't learn to give yourself grace, it's hard to give grace to others and even harder to accept grace from others.
What I love about this book is I opened it thinking it was going to be a total fitness book. And what I found instead, in addition, really, were gems about your life. And I felt like it just showed me a whole other side to you. And when I see you sitting here in this chair, I have trouble picturing the little boy who grew up outside of New Orleans in like real poverty.
3 hours or so north of New Orleans. But I think I told you in the story that when I hit about 15, we took a lot of trips. Us guys took a lot of trips down to New Orleans. I learned a lot in one night, like a month's worth of education in one night in New Orleans.
But what was it like growing up? I know it's tough to put in just a few sentences, but what was it like growing up for you in that extreme poverty?
Well, you know, it was off and on, you know. I remember early days, you know, we didn't have a whole lot. I remember, and then after, you know, my mom was divorced and raising us three kids and working three jobs and just working her tail off. And I can remember her sitting at a table and going over bills and sort of just exhausted and crying about paying the bills and those things growing up. But she always provided for us, and she always made us feel like that we could you know, outdream our means, and that was something that she always instilled in us. And our mom was our hero. She's the one that taught us to persevere. She taught me how to throw a baseball.
Did she?
And that's how I learned to throw baseballs from my mom. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, because I think a lot of people look at you and they also think of your very famous dad, Tug McGraw, and they think, well, wow, that must have had a huge influence on your life.
It did, but in a different way than most people think, because I think a lot of people don't realize I didn't grow up with Tug. And I didn't know Tug was my dad. I found my birth certificate when I was 11 years old. And like I said, we didn't have a whole lot. And I was in my mom's closet digging through something and found my birth certificate where it said McGraw. My name was Smith when I was a kid because my stepdad's name was Horace Smith, and he was a truck driver, cowboy kind of guy.
So what did it think when you saw those words, Tug McGraw is your dad?
Well, at 11 years old, it was very confusing. You know? And I called my mom and we drove around all day, and she told me the whole story, told me about it. And then I met Tug that year, and I never really saw him again until I was 18 years old.
How did knowing that he was your dad change the trajectory of your life?
Well, you know, I get asked a lot, you know, how could you have any affection for Tug, who's passed away now? He died of brain cancer at 59 when we were just starting to get to know each other better. But it changed what I thought I could do with my life, coming from the circumstances that I came from. And I felt like when I found that out, you know, he's a professional baseball player who's successful. To me, it made me think that blood is in my veins. So that ability is in there. So I found sort of that grit inside me that he must have had in order to succeed at what he did. And it changed what I thought I could make of my life.
So you meet beautiful Faith. You have three great kids. Your life is rocking and humming. And you also have a little bit of that kind of rock star life. And one day Faith says to you, honey, you got to decide, is it the party or is it us?
Yeah, I mean,
you decide.
You know, look, when things happen and you succeed and beyond your wildest dreams, and you're playing all these great shows, and, you know, the parties go on, and then you're married and you have kids, and all of a sudden your wife looks at you and says, you know, you're getting a little overboard, and you need to make some decisions, and it makes a big impact on you. But the biggest impact was my daughter in a lot of ways, and it sounds like a funny story, but it really hit me in a big way. Is, gosh, it must have been 10 or 11 years ago. My oldest daughter, Gracie's 22, Maggie's 21, and Audrey's almost 18.
Wow.
So they're they're almost gone. But I'd made a movie, and we went to the theater during the holiday season, and I never expected anything. I wasn't even thinking about the trailer of my movie. We were just going to see a holiday movie. And sure enough, the first thing that pops on the screen is the movie I'd done. And my face is the first thing that came on the screen, on a 100-foot screen. And it was pretty swollen at that time. And my daughter looked at me and says, "Geez, Dad, you need to do something." And that's sort of a gut shot, right? Oh, my gosh. Great. There you go. Thanks a lot.
I got to tell you, though, Tim, the before and after of your transformation is incredible. And the thing I love so much about this book, I mean, this is amazing just to see, is you actually give it in bite-sized things that all of us can do. You started off walking, you ended up running, and now you and your crew, instead of drinking and partying before your show, you got a trailer full of weights and ropes and stuff, and you're like working out.
Yeah, we enjoy it too, because it's team building for us.
Yeah.
I mean, and we talk a lot about our show and what we're going to do and how we're going to prove it. And sometimes we talk about personal stuff in the middle of working out. We call it our guerrilla yard.
Look at that.
When we're out there.
Look at you. Do you think anyone can do that, honestly? I mean, I look at this and I think, wow, it seems like a long shot.
Well, you know what? Everybody's different. Everybody's body's different, and everybody's time is different, right? And what they do. So I think it's not about weight. It's not about fat versus thin. It's not about any of those things. It's about what feels good to you and how you can take ownership of your body. Because you're the only. There's in this crazy world that we live in, everybody's world, whether it's the micro world you live in or the macro world you live in. There's few things that you can control. There's a lot of things you can't control. And first, you have to learn to accept that there's a lot of things that you can't control. But the things that you can control, take a hold of those things, because it allows you to have some discipline over those things, especially your body and your health, and to be there for yourself so you can be there for other people. And it's all about what you can do. It's not about what I do. I'm sort of an extreme person because that's part of my DNA, But I think that anybody can sort of take control of their life.
I think there's no question it turns you into a better man, a better father, a better husband, a better performer. I mean, people see it on stage. They watch your energy level. And I got to say, the book Grit and Grace is a great one. I mean, my boyfriend Joel was reading it last night. He was like, "I need this book." And he was paging through it. But anyway.
And it was a pleasure to meet him, too.
It was really fun hanging with you guys last night. Thanks again, Tim. We appreciate it. Again, the book Grit and Grace. We have more information on our website at today.com/shop.